our loved ones and keep us from danger. God of mercy, hold us in love, for all the beloved who rest in your mercy. God of mercy, hold us in love. Help us, comfort us all of our days. Keep us, hold us, precious God. Good morning, everyone, and happy July. Can you even believe that we have been doing this now for almost, let's see, April, May, June, the beginning, the fourth month of morning devotions, and I have enjoyed them so much. To put them together for you as my own devotional time. And so I thank you for tuning in, whether you come and see me live and spend some time or whether you watch later in the day. I hope this has blessed you as much as it has blessed me. I want to ask for you all to surround Nikki Kopp in prayer this day. Nikki and Mike have an adopted son, Ryan, whose birth mother has passed, and so that is a hard time for a young man. And although he has wonderful support all around him, it's hard for Nikki, I'm sure, to watch her son go through that pain. So please surround her in your prayers. Surround Ryan and all of the whole Kopp family who will be dealing with this grief for a while. We appreciate that. Holding her up and lifting each other up in prayers. That's why we're here, and that's why we do what we do as Christians, to care for one another. So, as the pandemic continues to spike, all sorts of things are shifting. We were getting to the place where we thought maybe we were going to be able to gather together in person sooner, and now it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So this is going to be our life for a while. This is going to be our church for a while. And as I say, I am so blessed by each of you and by your witness in your neighborhoods and in your families and in your communities. So keep up the good work. I will be here until it's not needed any longer, and we will all be blessed by the work that we do on behalf of God and God's people. So good morning. It was my plan, and this is what I'm going to continue to do, to take us on a pilgrimage of approximately 40, but maybe more days, and being guided by a book by my other favorite author for devotional books, that is Macrina Wiederkehr. And I'm using this book called Behold Your Life, A Pilgrimage Through Your Memories. I actually discovered her through Cindy Rudolph. Cindy read something to us on one of our first Mexico mission trips about pilgrimage that Macrina writes about. And it stuck with me. I bought the book, and it has blessed me for many, many years. I think you will enjoy working through it with me. Hers is a 40-day journey, and it was originally intended for use during Lent. But I think there is a lot in this that will really enlighten each of us as we go back and visit some of our own memories, some of our own times that need some attention. And I hope this edifies you and your faith journey, especially in the context of this pandemic and the times that we are in today. So I want to start out with a reading from Matthew, and that is our gospel for the year. So this is from Matthew in the 4th chapter, starting at the 18th verse. This is the call of the disciples. As Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, in the boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. This is the gospel of the Lord. The reason I chose this one is I like this particularly small beginning of Jesus' ministry and these first four disciples who will really be the core of the 12, and especially Peter. But two things I want you to notice here in the context of getting ready to start something new, getting ready to go on a life-changing pilgrimage with Jesus. Theirs will last 3 years. Hopefully, ours will not last that long. Um, but the first two that he calls are Peter and Andrew. And if you note, it says, as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, and they were casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. So the image here is as he's walking, he's seeing these guys, but they're on the shore. They're on the shore casting a net into the sea. So whether they have a boat or not, we don't know. But the first time he sees them, they are casting from the shore. And then he goes a little further down the line, assumedly with Peter and Andrew in tow. And now he goes down to maybe a better place to fish or a worse place because this family has a boat and has a fishing business, um, as did Peter and Andrew. But James and John fish with their father. So this is Zebedee and Sons Fishing Company. So the juxtaposition of probably what were the lower end of the economic spectrum of those who would fish from the shore because they didn't have a boat, and those who not only had a boat but had a business of fishing. So we get the economic strata here of those with boats and those without boats. And then I have always, the second thing I wanted you to notice, I've always felt a little bit badly for Father Zebedee because it says that Jesus called them, James and John, but not him. Um, the assumption is that he was old, he was set in his ways, he probably wouldn't have followed or whatever, or that Jesus just was looking for a few good men. But I always felt bad for Zebedee watching his two sons walk away from the business and go off with this itinerant rabbi that they may or may not have known or known of. So as we start this journey, I think this is a wonderful little text for us to think in terms of that whether we're rich or whether we're poor, whether we work alone or with a family member, whether we are in a business together or not, whether we are the ones sitting in the boat watching other people leave the area to go away and to strike out on their own with someone else. Um, all of us are welcome on this journey. All of us are welcome on this pilgrimage um, that we begin today. And so I hope that you will enjoy the pilgrimage that we're going to take together. This will be a journey which we will take together, but yours will be unique to you and to your experiences. Um, and so let us begin. I'm going to just read some of the introduction here because I think this is where we're going to root this. This is Macrina Wiederkehr. Pilgrimages have been an important part of religious history throughout the ages. A pilgrimage is a ritual journey with a hallowed purpose. A pilgrimage is a ritual journey with a hallowed purpose. Every step along the way has meaning. The pilgrim knows that the journey will be difficult and that life-giving challenges will emerge. A pilgrimage is not a vacation. It is a transformational journey during which significant change takes place. New insights are given. Deeper understanding is attained. New and old places in the heart are visited. Blessings are received and healing takes place. On return from the pilgrimage, life is seen with different eyes. Nothing will ever be quite the same again. So you can see how this may have been a wonderful word as we were on the bus on our way down to Atango, Mexico, down by Monterrey, not having a clue how we would be changed both as individuals and as a community of Advent as we encountered this loving community of folks as we went to help them build their church and be changed by our idea of what a mission trip was, idea of how people in Mexico lived in the areas that are not very wealthy. So pilgrimage to me is that journey that you take full well knowing that you are going to be changed as you walk this journey. I have some friends who have done, maybe you have heard of a thing called the Camino that goes across Spain and parts of France. It is a walking place, a walking path, but it goes completely across the country of Spain, and it ends up at the sea at the Camino del Santiago. So it ends up at the Church of Saint Santiago. Some people walk, for a week. I don't know. I think it takes a good long time, a couple of months to do this walk, and people prepare for it because not only is it a long walk, so you've got to be fit to be able to do that, but it is a spiritual journey. And I know people who have walked the Camino, either the whole Camino or just pieces of it, um, and literally come back, as if their lives had been turned inside out and for the better. And so we're going to kind of do that. The Camino, you walk during the day and you stop along the way. All the little towns along the way are part of sustaining the tourists and the visitors who walk the Camino, the restaurants and the hotels and places like that. The idea is that you walk during the day and stay in some little village in the evening. So you can imagine that in itself would change your life. So as we move along together, I'm recalling now some of the symbols and some people who posted after the live time their own symbols. And one of them that came up, Lloyd mentioned that the symbol that most is his relationship with Jesus is the cross. And that obviously, I think that one goes for all of us. But it reminded me that when you take a pilgrimage, it really is cruciform in intent, that it brings you to the foot of the cross. It brings you to the suffering and the sacrifice that Jesus made. And at the same time, we as Christians look at the cross and we look beyond it. The cross is just a piece of the journey, it is not the end of the journey. So let me just read a little bit more. I have always been tempted to turn away from the cross, for it speaks of contradictions and paradoxes in my life. It speaks of things I do not understand while I long for clarity. Yet the way of the pilgrim is never crystal clear. The cross is the banner carried by many pilgrims. The other side of the cross points toward resurrection. With that in mind, embracing the cross can lead to life. The cross that you are to embrace on this prayerful journey is your life, with all its pains and joys. I'm suggesting that you take up your life and walk consciously and gratefully throughout these 40 days. The Hebrew people journeyed through the wilderness searching for the promised land for 40 days. Jesus fasted for 40 days. The church offers us a 40-day period of renewal each year, the season of Lent. And here's where I would add, and we have more than 40 days that we have been staying at home in our cocoon, in our womb, in our place of growth and safety, being incubated for the time that we will come out again fully into the world. And I think this pilgrimage journey will help equip you and prepare you for your own foundation of faith so that when we do come out, you will see the world with different eyes. I think it's beginning already. I can hear it in our comments and in our conversations. So, so that is where we will begin with a little bit of understanding of what a pilgrimage is and how we will go together on that pilgrimage, what we will be doing, and some of it this part of it together, and then hopefully daily reflection that you will have a chance to um, to spend some time with yourself and with God in a focused kind of way. So, blessings on this journey that is about to begin. We will take our first step tomorrow as I bless you on this way, give you a couple of ideas of what's coming next week in the first four stages that we will do. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. We'll have a little bit of time for that, but I hope that you have plans that will be unfurled safely with people that you love, and that you'll also take some time to be with God and thank Him for this America in which we live, with its own ups and downs and glories and tragedies that are happening. But it's part of where we live, it's part of who we are. And so we celebrate America with all of its foibles and all of its fabulousness. So think about that. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay hydrated, don't touch your face, and wear a mask if you go out. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. God's blessings on you.